Jacob Fatu chokes out Roman Reigns.
JRW live. Hit the aisle, stack the card, chase that rare one, play it smart. Bobby Joe right by his side. JRW live ride. JRW live, let's go. Toy hunting shows on the road, figure reviews, bold predictions too. WW week breaking it through. JRW live.
What's up, JRW here? Today we have the weekly set review of Monday Night Raw. They kicked off the show with the old school style bloodline meeting, but with like the modernized like movie style like theme to like the backstage segment with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso. I gotta say it was really cringy, honestly, in my opinion, because it was like Roman Reigns is like, I need your guys' opinion. What do you think of Jacob Fatu? And they're like, Jimmy and Jay are going back and forth about how Jacob Fatu's dangerous and stuff, and how they were just like, the acting was not very good. I don't know. I thought, personally, my opinion, I thought it was cringy. I've seen online mixed reviews. I was like scrolling, watching Raw, and people were like, I like it. Some people were saying it's cringy. I personally thought it was a little cringy. I don't know. It wasn't so much like the style of the video was cringy. It was just how Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso were acting. It was like so like, I don't know, like it seemed fake, like fakey like reactions. Then they kicked off the show, like the main part of Raw, with Seth freaking Rollins coming down to the ring and saying, welcome everybody to Monday Night Rollins. And Seth Rollins, before he really could say anything, Braun Breaker comes down to the ring with Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker's pissed. Seth Rollins is like, I am not world champion right now because of the man Braun Breaker. That's why Braun Breaker comes down to the ring. I didn't beat Goldberg. Not Goldberg. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing Gunther. I didn't beat Gunther at WrestleMania, not because the Gunther was better than me, it was because of Braun Breaker. I would be still World Heavyweight Champion if it wasn't for Braun Breaker. Roman Reigns would be walking around with my title. Braun Breaker comes down the ring, he's like, I never needed you. I never needed you to help me. And Seth Rollins is like, well, back when I was World Champion, I called out Shawn Michaels. Who's the best wrestler in NXT? Who can I wrestle? Braun Breaker goes, hell yeah. And then I called out Shawn Michaels a year later. I'm making this group. Will Braun Breaker work? And it worked out. And he goes, hell yeah. But he goes, and then you stab me in the back, and the only reason why you're here is because of me. And Braun Breaker's like, I never joined the Vision because of you. I joined the Vision because of him, Paul Heyman. And Seth's like, you joined because of him? He goes, that explains everything about you. And Seth ends the promo with saying, you're not even number 2 in the Steiner family, Steiner. And he walks out. Then Becky Lynch, the women's Intercontinental Champion, came down to the ring talking about how she wants to have an open challenge now, and how she wants to face the new shiny up-and-coming stars, and not having all these nostalgic acts come back. She wants to give opportunities to the new upcoming stars, and she's like, I'm having an open challenge. And then Io Sky's music hits, and Becky Lynch is like, whoa, you're not an upcoming star. You're like the Marty Jannetty to Shawn Michaels with Rhea Ripley. Nobody cares about you. Adam Pearce comes down, and he goes, nope, you had an open challenge, so Io Sky's accepting. It's going to be one-on-one, Becky Lynch versus Io Sky. Io Sky was doing really good, but Asuka costs her the match. Becky Lynch retains, and then Asuka gets in the ring and chokes out Io Sky. Also, the crowd was chanting, we want Kyrie the whole time, because they released Kyrie Sane this past week. Then Penta went one-on-one with Rusev, with Ethan Page on ringside at commentary. They're really pushing Ethan Page, I guess, to this Intercontinental Championship title look. But Penta picks up the victory over Rusev, hitting the Mexican Destroyer 1-2. Actually, no, he rolled up Rusev 1-2-3, which was kind of surprising. But then Ethan Page gets in the ring, jumps Penta, beats him up. Rusev's in there with them. They're beating up. When Javon Evans comes out, he hits a giant jumping clothesline at Ethan Page, hits a cutter onto Rusev. Penta hits a big super kick on Rusev. Ethan Page gets the hell out of there, and Penta and Javon Evans stand tall. I honestly could see either a tag team match or a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash between Penta, Rusev, Ethan Page, and Javon Evans. And I could see them putting the title on Ethan Page maybe, but I think they need to keep it on Penta for a little longer. Then, making his Monday Night Raw debut, Joe Hendry had his first ever Monday Night Raw appearance, having a concert. And he's saying about how he's on Monday Night Raw and everything. And then in the song, he starts saying about how he has one request to changing Monday Night Raw is that we fire Logan Paul. And he's singing about firing Logan Paul. And then the Vision's music hits, and Logan Paul comes out of the ring. He's pissed. He's screaming like a maniac. And this just proves to me how good of a Logan Paul is on the mic and a promo. He's screaming like a maniac, but still cutting a great promo. He was cooking. And he's like, I'm a champion. I'm a Logan Paul. I'm a WWE superstar. You can't fire me. He's pissed. And they're like, we got tag titles, something you'll never have. We're the best tag team in the world. We're the tag team champions. And then they attack Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry starts fighting them off, but it's 2 against 1. And the Street Profits music hits, and they come out and they take out the Vision. The Vision run. Joe Hendry, the Street Profits stand tall, and Joe Hendry's music starts playing again. And the Street Profits start doing the Joe Hendry dance. It's pretty funny. So I guess we're getting straight into it with Joe Hendry and the Vision. Street Profits are coming for the tag titles. Maybe the Street Profits beat the Vision for the tag titles at Backlash, and then we get a feud between Joe Hendry and Logan Paul, because I feel like that would actually be really good. Then Rey Mysterio went one-on-one with the real El Grande Americano. Backstage was talking to the original Grande Americano about how he's going to be facing the real El Grande Americano, the original Grande Americano. This is like word soup over here. The original Grande Americano versus the real Grande Americano will be the end of May for a mask match. And he's like, Ray, whose side are you on? He's like, I'm not picking sides. I respect both of you. But besides that, Rey Mysterio went down to the ring. The real Grande Americano had his goons on the ringside trying to help him out. And then the original Grande Americano shows up, stops that. Rey Mysterio hits the 619, 1, 2, 3. Rey Mysterio picks up the victory. And then the original Grande Americano and the real Grande Americano brawl all over the place. They're pissed off. They hate each other. They're beating each other up, and security had to break them up. But oh my gosh, saying that many El Grande Americanos absolutely just murdered myself. Grayson Waller is backstage talking smack about all these wrestlers and Obafemi was standing right there listening, and Obafemi's make it official, a match between me and Grayson Waller, which they did. Obafemi goes out there and absolutely destroys Grayson Waller, hitting that crazy power bomb, 1, 2, 3. Obafemi picks up the victory, and then Obafemi cuts a promo saying how Grayson Waller is right, there is no competition. So in that case, I'm gonna make competition. Tonight starts the official Obafemi Open Challenge. And when I heard that, I'm like, all right, that's just like the Goldberg Streak Open Challenge thing with WCW. They are truly turning Obafemi into the modern day Brock Lesnar / Goldberg, which at least he actually is a better wrestler than Goldberg. But I like that they're pushing him as like this just monster that nobody can beat. Now, just don't bury everybody to Obafemi, because we can't be having that happen. Before her match, Roxanne Perez ran into Finn Balor. Finn Balor snuck into the Judgment Day's hangout, and she's like, you can't be here. He's like, you gotta listen to me. You cannot trust the Judgment Day. They'll eventually turn on you. And she's like, well, how can I trust you when you left the Judgment Day? And then she's like, get out of here before you get hurt. Then Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez had a tag match against Bayley and Lana Valkyria. Whoever won will become the #1 contender for the tag titles against Paige and Brie Bella. And with the help of Liv Morgan on ringside, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez defeat Bayley and Lana Valkyria. So they're now the #1 contenders for the women's tag team championships. I'm assuming either a Backlash or next week on Raw or something like that, they'll be facing Paige and Brie Bella. And before all this happened, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez jumped Stephanie Vaquero and beat her up. And I'm pretty sure they announced that she now is getting checked out for an injury because the Judgment Day absolutely destroyed Stephanie Vaquero. So they are just trying to get rid of Stephanie Vaquero, make sure she doesn't exist and she's not a threat to Liv Morgan and her women's world title. Then Roman Reigns in the main event came down to the ring, cut a promo talking about how the world title, they made it to go against Roman Reigns because they needed another world title. He's like, well, it didn't work. It didn't mean anything. And it finally took me going after it for it to become something important, to make it and be in the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania. On night 2 of WrestleMania, main event of WrestleMania for the first time, and on night 2 of WrestleMania for the first time. So Roman Reigns is like, I made this title relevant. It's relevant because of me, because I'm the tribal chief. And then Jacob Fatu's music hits. Jacob Fatu comes out of the ring. He goes, I'm done waiting. He goes, I gave you my answer last week. It's you and me at Backlash. And Jacob Fatu, he goes, no, none of you cared about me. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, you didn't. None of you cared about me before WWE. None of you called me. The only person that called me was Solo Sikoa. And Roman starts laughing. He's like, Solo can't even get something delivered to WWE. He's a joke. And he's like, I didn't. He goes, I did care about you. And Jacob Fatu just had enough, and he starts choking Roman Reigns, like not like a sleeper hold. He just grabbed him with his bare hands, grabbed him by the neck, and starts just squeezing his neck, strangling him to the ground until Roman's like coughing up stuff. He's just strangling the holy hell out of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns drops to the ground, and Jacob Fatu picks up that World Heavyweight Championship, and he looks at it, and then drops it by Roman Reigns and walks out. And then Roman grabs the mic, and he's yelling, Jacob, if you want me at Backlash, you got it. So at Backlash, it's going to be Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Also at Backlash, it's going to be Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins. I gotta say, Backlash is looking like it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be stacked. Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and give me the Vision versus the Street Profits for the tag titles, and I'm happy. And also, if we get Penta, Rusev, Ethan Page, and Javon for the Intercontinental, oh my gosh, Backlash is cooking. And then you give us maybe Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes for the World Title. Oh my god, you give us that. Those are the 5 matches of Backlash, and we're cooking. But there you guys, that was the setup review of Monday Night Raw this week. It was a decent show. It wasn't great, but wasn't terrible. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Honestly, I thought it was better than last week. I thought the end of the show was stronger than last week. And then I enjoyed the Joe Hendry stuff. I enjoyed Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins. I'm loving the push for Ova, so I enjoyed the show. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell because you don't want to miss out on wrestling figure content because we post every single day on this YouTube channel. Also, go check out the vlog of the Chicago Toy Show. Yesterday, I posted it. It was insane this past weekend. Got some awesome stuff. Got the toy hunt with Brett Alive, with Logan, with Jaco Figure. It was awesome. Shout out Jaco Figure. You can see the little sticker over there. But yeah, then make sure to like and subscribe. This is Jared to be live, and I'll see you guys in the next one.